Hello friends on YouTube. In today's video we're going to build a selfie camera project with JavaScript using the built-in webcam in the browser. So it's going to look something like this. Here you can see me. Let's do something like this. Take a selfie. It's going to be downloaded on your computer. Now you can open it up and there you got the picture. So before we get started, make sure to smash the like button and subscribe to the channel to join the family. Let's go. Alright, so let's get started. I have Visual Studio Code here, so if you're going to use another text editor, that's okay. So I just opened up a folder that I called Camera Project, and inside this folder we're going to create 3 files. So one is going to be index.html, the other one is going to be app.js because we're going to work with JavaScript right there, and also we're going to style the camera with the file index.css. So in the index.html, we're just gonna say html:5, enter. That generates a HTML boilerplate for us. So let's just put the title camera project. And then inside here, we're going to link to the app.js. So we're going to say script with the source tag app.js. Nice. Now we also need to link the CSS. So we're going to say link, and the href to that is going to be index.css. So now let's mark up the camera piece that you saw on the web page. So it's going to be, we're going to have a div. And this div is going to have a class of camera, and it's going to have a video camera overall displayed right there. And we're also going to have the camera button where we're going to capture the image. So we say camera button, and right here we're going to have an icon. So we're coming back to that later on. All right, so save that for now. And then we have Visual Studio. We have extension Visual Studio Code called Live Server. So make sure to download that. You can search for Live Server just like this. After downloading that, we can right click on index.html and open up with Live Server, which fires up an empty page as you can see here. All right, so let's do this. First off, we're going to go to the CSS, and in the CSS, we're gonna remove the default styling. So we're going to say margin 0, padding 0, and we're going to have box sizing or border box. After that, we're gonna say body. We're going to have a gradient background, so we can say UI gradients and go to uigradients.com, go to show all gradients, and we're going to have a bluish color. So which one did we use here? I think the one we use is called inbox. All right, so just click on this get CSS button, click to copy everything, and you just want to paste that in. All right, so we're just going to format this also. That looks pretty. Now, when you look at the website, it didn't take effect. The reason it did that was because the body needs to have a height also. So the height of the page is going to be 100 viewport height to make it full screen. Now you got the blue background, as you can see. All right, so let's continue here. We're going to say the camera. So let's say the camera. The camera width is going to be 500 pixels. I'm going to say it's going to have a height of 400 pixels. It's going to be position relative because we're going to move the capture button within the box. And we're going to say border is going to be 5 pixels solid and just going to have a white color around the camera. And also we're going to have a border radius of 5 pixels. Right, so if we just save that, we can see the frame of the camera right here. So the next thing we're going to do is we're going to center this. So let's go back to the body part. And after the colors that you put there, let's say display, flex, and the flex direction is going to be column. And then we're going to say justify content, center, and align items, center, because this is going to be at the center of the screen. Perfect. Now it's time to put the video camera within this, the box that we created. So the video camera is going just to be simple. We're going to say video because we're going to create a video. So we need to add the video element also. Remember that. So we're going to say within the camera, just before the button, we're going to have a video tag. It's not going to have a source because we're going to inject that right there. And then we're going to have a class called video. Okay, so now go to app.js. Now that we have this kind of box showing us like that, in the app.js, what we're gonna do is first to select the video element. So we're gonna say const video document.query selector video. And then we're gonna select the camera button. So we're gonna say const camera button, document.query, selector camera. Okay. And also what we're gonna do is, after that we created the camera, we're gonna create a canvas and just give it a class of canvas. And this is going just to be to draw the image, the camera footage that we take. It's going to build right there. And here we just kind of select the const canvas. And then we're gonna say document query selector canvas. So now that we selected all of them, now we're gonna ask for permission to get the camera. So we're gonna say navigator, media devices, get user media devices. And this is a promise, as we can see here, which means that we're going to use .10. So if you haven't watched the promise video, I'm going to link that at the end of the video. All right, so now we're gonna pass in some constraints as parameters or arguments. So we're gonna say video true. That's the only thing that we want from the user. After we get the video or the permission granted, we're gonna get a stream back. This is going to be a callback function. And the stream is going to hold a object of value about the camera, which means that it's going to be an object that we can pass into the video element that we have selected at the line 1. Now we can say video source object because we have a source object in the video. So now if we just do this, I'm going to show you guys something. Go to inspect, open up the console, and let's just say console.there, and then you want to put in the video element. Whoops. Oh, it's not defined because I haven't saved the file yet. Okay, so we're gonna say console there, and then we're gonna put in the video, enter. So within this object, we have a source object that we're going to put in the stream on. As you can see, right now it's just null. All right, so what we're gonna do is source object is going to be equal to stream. And then we're gonna say video.play. Watch this now. Yes, after permission for the camera, we're gonna click allow, and there I am. So now the camera is just overflowing, which just looks weird. So we're gonna put it within the box as we made. Now, what you wanna do is go back to index.css, and we made the video class selector. So inside that selector, what you wanna do is say width 100%, and then we're gonna say height 100%. And it's going to look something like this. We got a little bit off right here, so it's some empty spaces around. So we're gonna say object fit cover, so it covers the whole box. Now our camera is on display. Let's work on the camera button now. So we're going to use a camera icon that we're going to get from Ion Icons, and then you want to click on that. Click on the usage because this is going to be a CDN that we're going to use. Copy the CDN, and then you want to go to just below app.js script tag and paste it in there. And the icon we're going to use is just click on icons. We say camera. Now you want to click on the camera here, and then just click on the icon text there and replace the comment with the camera icon. Good. Now we're making progress. Now we can see the camera here is so tiny. So what we're gonna do now is let's go back to our index.css, and we're gonna style the camera button. So let's say camera button. The width is going to be 64 pixels. We're gonna make it a little bit bigger than what it is now, and we're gonna make the font size a little bit bigger also. So we're gonna say 2em, and then we're gonna say font weight bold, and we're gonna say we're going to have some padding of 0.5 rem. We're gonna have a border radius of 50% just to make it round. Looks like a real icon on a phone or whatever. As you remember, we made position relative. We put position relative on the camera. So what we're gonna do is position absolute here because we're going to move the camera capture button within the box. So we're gonna say position absolute, and it's going to be from left right now because it's on the left here, so we want it on the middle. So we're gonna push it 50% from left. So we're gonna say left 50%. We're gonna say bottom, we're going to be at the bottom 0. Now we're gonna transform it back just to make it correctly centered. We're gonna say 50%, on the x-axis, and we're gonna say translate it -20 pixels up, so it gets centered right there. Perfect. Now you can't even see it because we don't have correct colors. So let's say the background color is going to be transparent, and then we're gonna say border 2 pixels solid white, because it becomes like this, which is cool. We're gonna say color white, and then it becomes like that. Now we need to center the icon because it seems a little bit off here. So we're gonna say text align center. Perfect. Now it it looks like a real camera. So now when we put our like cursor over this camera icon, nothing happens, it's just static. So we're gonna make it a little bit more interactive with hover. So we go back here, we say camera button. On the hover state, we're gonna say background color is going to be full white, and the color is going to change to black. So we're gonna have a shade of a little bit almost dark. So it's gonna be 222, and we're gonna say it's going to have a smooth transition. We're gonna transition everything 200 milliseconds linear. So it becomes something like this. You see? Really cool. And now let's go back to the app.js and target when someone clicks on this button, we're gonna make a capture. We're gonna take a real photo. So let's do this. We're gonna say camera button. We're gonna attach an event listener. We're gonna say when someone clicks on this, we're gonna fire a callback function. And this callback function is going to trigger a photo. So let's just make a, you know, when you take a photo, it just have a lighting that comes really fast, like 2 milliseconds, and then it's gone. Let me just show you here. We're gonna create a effect, and this effect is, we're going to just have opacity 0.5, and then we're gonna also transition this. This is a transition all 100 millisecond ease. So let me show you guys. So if we put effect on this, you can see that effect. So we want that to show and then get removed directly. So we can approach that by saying video. We're gonna add a class list, and we're gonna toggle if it's there or not the effect class, and then we're gonna set a set timeout, and we're gonna say class list or video class list, and then we're gonna toggle it again to remove it. We're gonna say effect every 400 milliseconds. So we can just say 400, just like that. All right, so the next step is going to be to get the canvas that we created, and we're gonna say get context, like that. It's going to be 2D, and then we're gonna draw an image on that canvas. And the image that we're going to draw is the video in its current state. Then we're going to have a z-axis and the y-axis, which is going to be 0. Then we're going to have the canvas width, and then the canvas height. Cool. After drawing the image, we're going to save the image in a variable called image.data.url. You can name this anything you want, and this is going to hold the canvas to data URL. So we're going to convert the captured image to a real JPEG or PNG. So for now, we're going to have a JPEG. We're going to say image JPEG, and that is going to be the link we're going to use to download the image. So now we're going to say download the image directly. If I can even spell download correctly. So here, download. And now we're going to say const download link. We're going to create a download link, and this is going to be create element. And we're going to create an anchor element, which is just going to be invisible. So let's say download link. The href is going to be the image.data.url that we made right there. And once we made that, we're going to say download link. We're going to make it downloadable, and every time someone downloads it, it's going to have a name of selfie JPEG. Cool. Now we're going to add this one to the document. So we're going to say document.body, append child, and we're going to append what? The download link. Let's say download link. And then we're going to say click on this download link. which starts the download. And then we're gonna say document body. We're gonna remove that link because sometimes people spam, they like take photos of themselves a lot. So we're gonna say remove child, download link. Okay, so now we made that. So we have a little bit fixes to make. So we're going to style the canvas because we don't want it to show at the beginning. So we're just gonna say canvas, display, none. All right, so now you just made it invisible. And in the canvas, we're gonna say every time someone takes a selfie of themselves, the image that is going to be downloaded is going to have a width of 500 pixels and a height of 400 pixels. All right, now everything seems to be looking good. So before we wrap up, I just noticed a bug, and maybe you get that also when you try to take a selfie about yourself. You want to change this to data URL instead to data URL in caps. Now if you save that and go back and you just take a selfie, it will download that. And here's a beautiful picture about you. And you're looking good. Hopefully this video helped you out and you enjoyed it. So make sure to like the video, subscribe to the channel, and I will see you next time.